Whoa!
Listen up, team. What's their status? Where was that chopper headed?
I have 3 airfields in Qatar that are promising, but they're privately owned, and nobody can get close enough to take a look.
I got a whole lot of nothing. Every time I send someone to follow up on a lead, it turns out the buildings are abandoned, burned out, or bombed into rubble.
Jesus Christ.
Satellite footage has identified 3 possibles, but based on what the roads look like around them, I don't think our crashes would have chosen them.
Well, they were gonna take all those weapons somewhere. I want to know where, now. Fully urgent.
I'm gonna go take a look upstairs.
I'll nail it.
Terrible. Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone.
Oh,
Adam, you're here. You made it in. It's good to see you're okay.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, it was a close call. I got lucky. A lot of people didn't.
I was here working when the first reports came in. It was chaos. Phones ringing off the hook, people yelling, scrambling to find out what was going on. Then when Miller told me you were there,
I'm all right.
Good. You looking for him? Because he's tied up right now and meeting with Lyon, I think.
Really? He's using the NSN right now?
Yeah, I just saw him. Oh, hey, that reminds me, here's yours.
What's this?
The card for the shooting range. Chang changed all the codes this morning, said something about only giving access to people he's vetted personally. The bombing really freaked him out. 3rd one in 6 months, can you believe it? I'm really glad you're okay.
Thanks, Arya. I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, I better get back downstairs. It's gonna be a busy day. Come by later if you want to talk.
Copy that.
by the way, I've already hacked your computer.
Analyst White, ATC Security Chief Collins.
Points of interest shooting range. Because, you know, practice makes perfect.
White, Security Chief Collins, thank you.
Cyber content.
Fully urgent.
Yeah, key card.
I'll nail it.
Last night, the collective published the tax returns of the 50 richest people in Switzerland. It makes some very interesting reading.
Cute. But they're never going to beat the time they broadcast that sweatshop.
They all want to be caught. Am I hearing things? Are you two actually
Composition can tell us a lot, but it's the triggers that we don't
If we don't learn the way these people think, we'll never track them down.
Close my eyes, but all
Thanks.
they
State
want
police
is
are
to
playing
follow up
stingy.
on
Here we
evidence.
go. The Diwali crime family. As you may already know, they're one of the largest crime syndicates in Eastern Europe, but they do business almost everywhere, from Northern Europe all the way to the Middle East.
They're saying it was
After their
faulty
humble
wiring.
beginnings in a coastal town in Georgia, you'd think that
Who am
one
I?
of them quickly
I'm
moved
the
from
guy doing his
gambling
fucking
to more
job. Who the
lucrative
fuck are
criminal
you?
enterprises, till they found their specialty, smuggling, which includes human trafficking too. The Diwali can get anything to anywhere. It's as if borders just don't exist to them. But their rapid expansion came at the cost of their Georgian purity when they started incorporating an ever-increasing number of Russians into the group. If you ask me, I think a
many
major
people
power
talking at
struggle is
once.
coming within the Diwali. One of the old versus the new. The past versus
Maybe
the
whoever's in
future.
charge doesn't want
We know
anyone.
state police aren't above profiling.
Get information on all of these.
I don't even know
all the
where to
data I
start
have
with
right
theorizing percentages.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting good
I'm
accurate
sorry, we're all in strung out shape.
Otar Botkavelli. This guy's a classic. They don't make many like him anymore. Sharp mind,
Negative.
a
They're
real
saying it was faulty
businessman.
wiring.
One of those gangsters who thinks that crime is a necessary evil. No, if it's gonna happen, he's there to make sure people have respect and make good money. Good business.
There isn't much here to go on.
For crying out loud.
Ah, the elusive Radic
The end of action would be
Nicolazzi.
great if
This
we
guy's a
reversed
piece
that.
of work. Driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime
These
family.
guys might as well be
The man
ghosts.
spends more money on suits than most people spend on their houses. But don't let the looks and the haute couture fool you. He's the boss, he's in control, and he's squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down
State
along the
police are
way.
playing
I don't
stingy
even know
with
where
sharing
to start
evidence.
with theorizing percentages. It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it. I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours, still nothing.
Our arms dealer Shepard, aka John Trent, is a former Special Forces commander and ex-Bell Tower operative. And as is
They're like
typical for this
serial
ex-Bell
killers.
Tower
Deep down, they all
employees,
wanna be
he's been
caught.
selling off old Bell Tower tech and weapons.
What I
But we don't
hear,
need to worry
the
about him
explosives
anymore.
were designed to
He
get
was killed by
maximum
those gold
spread.
mask guys in Dubai.
Deceased.
I'll nail it.
What I need you to do is listen to me.
I've run DNA checks.
You know as much
through
as
all
I
the
do about
outfits.
these guys. They're
Is
augmented,
it or is it
well-trained,
not a
and
public
very
party?
dangerous.
Through all the
And they
outfits.
seem to be
God, it's
massing
probably
weapons
theirs.
and augs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet.
Maybe whoever's in charge.
That's all the
doesn't
data
want
I have
them
right
to
now.
feel safe.
They don't care about
You'd think
jurisdiction.
one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but no dice, not our show.
Janus relies on public.
Here we go. The Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine,
I'm sorry,
without the
we're all
God.
in strung out
And then
shape.
again, to others,
to
the
this
Singularity
police charter?
Church of the Machine God.
Maybe the custody
This
of
group
errors.
has so many
There
names
is
and
no
subgroups, it's hard to keep track.
Composition
And believe it or
can
not,
tell us
they've been
a lot,
around
but
in
it's
one
the trigger
form or
that
another
makes
since
it
the early
happen.
1970s. There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they
Thanks.
want,
Keep
but
digging.
in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge
Who am
their
I?
consciousnesses
I'm the guy doing
and
his
become
fucking
one
job.
with
Who
the
the fuck are
machine
you?
God through a ritual
You'd
they
think
call
one of them would pop up
ascension.
on some list somewhere.
There's a few
Just wish someone would nut up and stick to the lane.
Swirling on my lid.
The New Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective. The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman and they call her mother. That's creepy, right? I think that's really creepy. Janus. I mean, what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world, attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus.
Deep down, they all want to be caught.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the Singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into.
No, it's the right
It'd be easier if someone would just
Unreleased,
step
be
up and
honest.
do it. I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but
They're like
no
serial
dice,
killers.
not our
Deep
show.
down, they all want to be caught.
They don't care about jurisdictional crap.
Negative. They're saying it was faulty wires relies on.
Angie, I trust your hunch is better than most people's evidence. There's no way, if the Diwali number 2 owns it, that the storage locker is 100% clean. I'm in the middle of something I can't break away from right now. Check it out yourself quietly. Tell me what you find. Storage locker. Crack the code to the door. The courtyard just down the street from us. Make a note of that.
Right now, I think those letters about that happening.
No, that's not consistent with the train station cameras.
Jensen, we need to talk.
Right, let's talk.
By God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him it's not safe enough here.
We're fine, Chang.
The police station, the train station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Praha Dovos just got hacked.
Our building's front company. Thought it was fake.
I wish it was fake. Miller's got me cleaning up in telecam footage from the attack to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are? Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured out that the company's a front? Maybe they know what's really down here.
We have a lot of enemies. The people who bombed the train station. You don't think they'd love to know where we are? You need to help me figure out who's looking into us and make them stop.
Decline, accept, or delve deeper.
I'm gonna need more information about this snoop of yours.
I don't know for sure that our cover's been blown, but if it has, we need to know before our enemies have a chance to do something about it.
You got an MO in this hacker?
At first I thought it might be the Collective.
But you're not convinced.
Not Janus's style to leave crumbs this big. But whoever it is, they risk exposing us. If the Collective ever found out where we operate... My god, Jensen.
Maybe Janus knows already.
Hey, don't say shit like that. I get nervous enough as it is.
You really think there's a risk here? Maybe someone's just poking around the fake website of a fake company.
If someone points a gun at me, I assume it's loaded. If someone hacks into the website of the company that serves as our cover, I assume they're doing it for a bad reason.
Such as?
Everything depends on who they are and what they know. But we're in the business of dealing with terrorists. If those terrorists find out where we are...
TF-29 likes its privacy.
Sure. More importantly, Chang likes being in one piece. Unlike you, I don't just brush off explosions.
What can you tell me about our front company?
Praha Dovos was designed to be forgettable. The kind of place you walk by 100 times and still can't remember.
It obviously caught someone's attention. What happens if we're compromised?
My guess, we dismantle and disappear. Agents go into hiding, Director burrows into some hole, poof, no Christmas party.
Covered all that?
I need you to find out as much as you can about our Snoop. Make sure we're not in danger.
I have other priorities, or...
Alright, you have any leads?
I traced our hacker Snoop to an unrented apartment. Top floor, 33 Hlavny, just down the street. This guy walks by us every single day. Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment, access the computer they used, and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
Find the source of the hack.
No.
So that's another side mission.
That's not consistent with the train station cameras.
Be careful out there.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet engines. Nothing.
Agent Doyen, report to Agent McCree. Fully urgent.
Well, I think it's great.
Unbiased and
Maybe the
impartial
connection
reporting.
is that there is no connection.
And now for a close
Fucked
look
up.
at events.
Run DNA checks
Preemptive
through all the
action would be
alphabet
great when you were to start.
It's black.
Maybe the connection is that maybe
Local
whoever's in charge
journalists
doesn't
in
want
Kennedy.
any.
Underground websites and radio stations continue to praise the Juggernaut Collective, an elusive group of vigilante hackers for exposing big money corruption. What?
Oh, there's another safe in here. I got the password. Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with theorizing presented me.
Oh. I got it wrong.
Negative. They're saying it was faulty wiring.
Oh, I know what I forgot. It's not letting me enter it.
The end of action would be great if you ready.
That's very strange.
Guys, might as well be
What I hear, the explosives were designed to get
Ah,
maximum spread.
he's tried using the keypad. I'm in. Human traffic confirmed. Our people in Moscow confirmed that the Diwali are shipping unlicensed hogs out of the Czech Republic. We suspect the majority are leaving via unmarked trucks, but it's difficult to know for sure because it's definitely looking like some of the police are taking back and just throwing it away.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
Security rating 5.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but no dice.
You think one of them would pop up on some lift somewhere?
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but no dice. Not our show. It should be easier if someone would just step up and
I think Singh's got some kind of adrenaline addiction. He plays it too close to the edge.
He made it out of the ride, didn't he?
I'm telling you, if it had been anyone but Jason, Singh would be dead.
Well, you know what? I think you're right.
Agent Jensen!
This is Eliza Kassan, reporting
I
to
hate this. I really hate this.
from
Hang on a
Picus.
minute.
Exclusivity, anonymity, security. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those
I
concerns
guess the
a
transit authority
priority.
isn't in as much of a hurry as you are.
Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any
These guys might as well be ghosts.
assured anonymity.
It's my computer.
Palisade Bank Corporation is now and
Look, I'm
forever
going as
will
fast
be.
as I can.
Attention everyone, the third quarterly TF29 shooting competition is almost upon us. Remember our firing range is always open.
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
Always
Having
watching,
practiced.
because you are always watching.
From James Miller to Austin.
Turning now to Prague,
This is so
a city
weird.
still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside Ruzicka train station. I do not need to remind you folks.
I've run
that
DNA
this is
checks
the
through all the
third such
alphabet
attack to
agencies.
strike Prague
Nothing.
in 6 months. All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Wecker, leader of the
That's the
Augmented Rights
psychiatrist.
Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker
These guys
claims
might as
his
well be
organization
ghosts.
is peaceful and merely seeks to ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned against them. But with the United Nations set to debate the Human Restoration Act in a matter of weeks, could the good doctor be changing
This is so weird.
Neuropozyne.
Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting
You
to
have not yet picked up
live
the supply I ordered for you
Picus.
this month. I also noticed it's the third time
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list
unbiased
somewhere.
and impartial reporting. And now for a close look at the events making headlines around the world. Here are our top stories. Is freedom of the press a threat to our freedom?
I've run DNA
In the
checks
hands
through all
of
the alphabet
irresponsible
agencies.
journalists.
Nothing.
I'm still waiting on your after-action
Underground
report.
websites and radio stations continue to praise the Juggernaut Collective, an elusive group of vigilante hackers for exposing big money corruption.
This is so weird.
What these journalists
God,
overlook, however,
Treat into my
is
skull.
the damage these hackers leave in their wake. Last year, the collective shut down London's traffic grid, causing gridlock for hours and preventing
You'd think one of them would
life-saving
pop up on
medical
some
transport
list
from
somewhere.
in Chile,
Out.
they committed
Full of
massive
victory.
voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting system and elected a 12-year-old
Look, I'm going as
boy
fast as I can.
president.
Alright,
In
let's
Russia,
talk to him.
Agent Singh. Wasn't expecting to see you again. In civvies, at least.
Just passing through. I wanted to thank your team for the backup in Dubai. That sting went to hell faster than the storm did.
You're welcome. But I don't think you came all this way to say thanks.
Director Miller asked me to get Agent McCready up to speed. Now I have the red-eye flight back to Oman.
Headed into the field office there?
Not exactly. one of our black sites. I'll be dropped in as a captured enemy combatant. After I contact my fellow Jinn prisoners, I shall lead a very convenient escape.
Re-embedding with the Jinn. Aren't you taking a big risk, given everything that happened?
No choice. I would feel safer if we'd been able to shut down that signal booster at the hotel. But I would feel safer if I took the desk job. You see is what I do. We need to find out who hit us. And the Jinn will be looking too.
Could they get a bead on our gate crashers faster than TF-29?
Perhaps. They do not like loose ends. An augmented kill squad with military training. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Yeah, once. But it's a long story. Did we get anything out of the cleanup operation?
Mostly corpses. Heavily augmented, as you know. Under those gold masks, they were ID scrubbed. No prints, no dentals, no DNA match. Professional.
Could still be ex-Bell Tower. Plenty of men and material went AWOL after the incident. A competing faction that listened in on Shepard's sale.
It's a possibility. The audits and investigations of Bell Tower will go on for years before we know how many rats jumped from that ship. At least we recovered the weapons. Unlisted. High spec. Military-grade augmentation. Enough to build another couple of you. That is a joke.
Right. It's the world we live in. Anyone with an exemption to the weaponized augment ban is a useful tool. Or a terrorist.
Dubai.
Whoever they were, they knew exactly when the deal was going down. Any chance they were based locally, in Dubai?
No. After the incident, Dubai became the world's most luxurious tombstone. Perfect for the Jinn, but for no one else.
I thought human augmentation was frowned on in the Middle East. Why was Dubai hit so hard?
Because it was another world. Two other worlds, in fact. One of extreme augmentations in gold or crystal, and one of thousands of workers outfitted for construction. Then, that day.
I know.
No, Agent Jensen, you could not. Some called it divine punishment. But that day was not the work of a merciful God.
I don't envy what you've got ahead of you.
Actually, I'm looking forward to it. The truth is, when you've been under for long enough, you only feel like an imposter out here, in the real world.
Yeah, I understand the feeling.
Alright.
This is so weird. It is Jensen, yes?
Look, I'm going as fast as I can.
Agent Jensen!
Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured.
I've run DNA checks through all the
Agent Jensen!
Nothing.
Who's calling?
All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took
I've
over.
run DNA
I guess the
checks through all
transit
the
isn't
Jensen,
in as
yes?
much of a hurry as you are.
I've already spoken to Dr. McCready.
Really seeks to ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned against them. But with the United Nations set to debate the Human Restoration Act in a matter of weeks, could the good doctor be changing his tune? Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you
Damn it.
live from Picus. Picus News, the global leader in fair, unbiased, and impartial
Shush.
report.
We'll talk with McCready.
Is there something I can help you with, Agent?
I hear you're on point looking into the gold mask mercs that hit us in Dubai. Any leads yet?
Christ, I know I'm good, Jensen, but I've only been on it for 5 minutes.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes, McCready. You check with the ME yet? Get anything off the bodies we recovered?
Leftovers are on ice at the Oman substation. I've been told they were scrubbed clean as summer whites. No prints, no dental, no nothing.
So in other words, it's no steps forward and 2 steps back.
For now. Singh may be able to dig up more for me once he's back in Basra with the Jinn. Just hope his cover isn't fucked, since you couldn't be bothered to disable that comms booster.
Oh, I was having fun. Pushback.
The way I remember the briefing, McCready, disabling the comms booster wasn't the op. Stopping the sale of black market weapons and AUGs was.
Fair enough, Jensen. You got me there. Anyways, look. With Singh's contacts in the desert, maybe something will ping on these gold-masked jokers and we'll nail them quick. Probably just another fucking jihad looking to make some noise.
I don't know. I'm not so sure we should be looking for these guys in the desert.
Ah, is that so? You have some new information you feel like sharing?
Come on, McCready. These guys were augmented with military-grade hardware. Body augmentation goes against Muslim beliefs. They weren't jihadists. We're dealing with something new here.
I can see where you're going with this, Jensen, and I'm asking you right now to back off it. It's not your case.
Challenge. Focus.
You always this pig-headed? Or are you just going out of your way on my account?
Miller mentioned that you might be pissed not getting to follow up with the investigation. I told him it wouldn't be a problem. I'm not being pig-headed, mate. I'm following orders. And I get a bit of a kick watching you squirm over it.
So you're just an asshole?
I thought we established that in Dubai. Now, get out of my face, Jensen. I have work to do.
Really? Damn, I wanted to look on his computer, but...
Deborah Connolly, you have an outside call cleared and waiting. Katarina Noyan to Agent Dupree's office. Agent Noyan, report to Agent Dupree. Fully urgent. Urgent. Katarina Noyan to Agent Dupree's office. Agent Noyan, report to Agent Dupree. Fully urgent. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns a priority. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank beyond the jurisdiction of the government.
Secretary. Did you or Shang move the NSN server room keycard? I thought we agreed to keep it on the lower level. I don't have time for this. State police are stonewalling me again, and I have to call the Minister, Debbie. Alright.
Maybe the connection is that there is no connection.
It's electric again. Oh, I've got the password. Attention Director Miller, the last time you used this innocent logs failed to delete them. Until further notice, unless you delete the logs manually, anyone who uses the innocent after you will be able to access regular communications of the innocent underscore country. Okay. I've got to start from here and go.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
There it is. Just having a look around. Okay, I'll take a break. When I come back, I'm going to use the whisper chip. See you next time.